Welcome to the third day of finite element analysis using Fusion 360. So today I will explain the buckling analysis, structural buckling analysis tutorial. So first I will explain what is buckling analysis. When an object, so here you can see this is the object. So this object is actually a plastic table. When an object is very long and when compared to its cross-sectional area, it becomes unstable under a compressive load. So you can see the compressive load. So this is the compressive load. A buckling load factor of less than 1 means that buckling will occur under that load. So when an object is very long and when compared to its cross-sectional area, this object becomes unstable because of this compressive load. So that is actually called buckling. Then I will start with the structural buckling analysis. So first I will open the table. I will open the plastic table. So from the folder basic training simulation 11, number 11 simulation and a plastic table. So I will open the plastic table. So before entering into the details, uh, I will explain what is actually buckling. So I already explained what is buckling. In engineering, buckling is the sudden change in shape of a structural component under load, such as the bowing of a column under compression or the wrinkling of a plate under shear. That was the definition of buckling. So I will explain what is actually the difference between the bending and buckling. So here you can see two figures. The first figure is actually bending and the second figure is called buckling. So here in the first figure you can see a load P is applied. So here you can see a load P is applied perpendicular to the axis. So here this is the axis. This is the axis. You can see this load is acting 90° to the axis. This load is acting 90° to the axis. So what happens is this will bend. So bending is simply, it is the state of a stress. So in the second figure you can see uh, this is actually a column. So a load P is applied parallel to the axis. So here in bending, this load is actually perpendicular to the axis. So here in this buckling, this load is parallel to the axis of the column. So you can see this column will buckle. So here you can see this column will buckle, and the condition is, this is the condition, if the load P is greater than P critical. If the load is greater than critical, this column will buckle. So buckling is defined as it is the state of instability. Okay, so that was the difference between bending and buckling. So bending is actually the state of stress and buckling is actually the state of instability. So in bending, the load is actually perpendicular to the axis, and in buckling, the load is parallel to the axis. So that was the difference between bending and buckling. So again, once again, this is another definition. So buckling loads are the critical loads where certain types of structures becomes unstable. Each load has an associated buckled mode shape. This is the shape that the structure assumes in a buckled condition. So here you can see this is actually a steel beam. So here you can see this is actually a steel beam with a 10 mm by 10 mm cross section, and it is rigidly constrained. So here you can see this is rigidly constrained at the bottom, and here you can see a load P is applied, and because of this load is actually applied at the top center of the beam. So because of this load, the beam will buckle. So I hope you understand what is actually buckling. So next I will start my CAD model. So first I will open the Fusion 360, and I will open the data panel. Then I will select number 11 simulation, and I will double click the plastic table. So you can see I will double click the plastic table. So when I will double click the plastic table, so you can see the plastic table is displayed in the screen. So this is the plastic table. Then I will save this. That is the next step. Save this, and I will change the name into plastic table 2. Then I will change the workspace into simulation workspace. I will click on the design workspace, design, and I will click on the simulation workspace, such that you can see I will click on the simulation workspace. You can see your workspace is changed into simulation workspace. Then I will select the buckling analysis. So here you can see this is the option. This is the option. This is the structural buckling. So I will select the structural buckling. I will click the structural buckling. When I will click the structural buckling, you can see when I will click the structural buckling, you can see here you can determine the buckling modes of the model, and the results include buckling modes and their corresponding load multipliers. So that was the result you will get from the structural buckling analysis. Or I will choose study type. So here you can see you can choose from the study type also. So this is my study type, buckling. So I want to see if my long thin design will collapse under the applied physical loads. So in that case, you have to conduct buckling analysis. So I already told in the beginning, choose the right type of analysis is very, very important. So if you want to see your long thin design will collapse under applied loads, so you have to conduct the buckling analysis. So I will click the buckling option, and now the study is actually buckling analysis. Then I will change the units into US inches. I will change the unit, and I will change the number of modes. So I will click on the Manage tab, and I will select the structural buckling. I will select the structural buckling option, and then I will select the number of modes. I will select the number of modes as 3. I will select the number of modes as 3. I will select the number of modes as 3. Then I will change the unit system into US inches. So I will click the custom units custom, and I will change the units into US inches. Click OK. Then I will change the material into plastic. I will change the material of the plastic table into plastic. I will select the materials tab. I will select the materials, then I will click on the study materials. and I will select the study materials option. So here you can see the study material. So I will change the study material into plastic. I will change the study material into plastic. I will click and I will select the plastic material. So you can see, so here you can see the plastic. So I will select the plastic material. So now you can see the material changes into plastic material. Then I will apply the constraints. I will apply the constraints and loads. So here this plastic table consists of 4 legs. So here I will apply different constraints to the bottom of each of the 4 legs. So for the 4 legs I will apply different constraints. So the different constraints are, so these are the different constraints. So I will select this leg. I will click the structural constraints. Then I will select this leg and I will constrain in the y-axis, uy. That was the first constraint. Then for the leg B, ux and uy. For the leg B, ux and uy, I will select the constraints. I will select the constraints, structural constraints, u, x and uy. Then click OK. Then the leg C, uy and uz. Leg C, uy and uz. I will select the constraints, structural constraints, u, y and uz. Click OK. Then I will select the fourth leg, that is D, fixed in all directions, that is ux, uy and uz. Constraints in fixed in all directions, x, ux, uy and uz. Then I will apply a compressive load on the top of the table, 200-pound force load to the top of the table. Click load, structural loads. I will select the 2 ellipses on the top and I will change the type into force and I will enter the magnitude as 200 and the direction type to normal. I will change the direction type to normal and the magnitude of the force is 200. I will enter the magnitude as 200. Then I will click OK. Then I will click OK. So load is applied. Then the next thing is you have to apply the contacts. So go to the contacts option, automatic contacts, and the contact detection tolerance is the default value, and then I will click the generate button. So you can see the contact is generating. You can see the progress bar. So after few seconds the contact is generated. Then I will click the manage contacts. Click the manage contacts. So you can see all the contact types generated, and the contact type is actually bonded contact. So here you can see the contact type. So here you can see this is the contact type. So the contact type is bonded contact. Then I will click OK. Then the next step is you have to solve the analysis and interpret the results. That is the third activity. solve the analysis and interpret the results. You have to click on the solve option. So there is an option, pre-check option. So when you click on the pre-check option, you can see the study setup has all the information required. So make sure that you must check the pre-check option. So here the study setup has all the information required. Then you can directly move to the solve. Before I will click on the solve, I want to see the mesh. So I will click on the display and I will switch on the toggle mesh visibility. And I want to see the mesh details. So meshing, you can see the meshing. So here you can see this is the meshed plastic table. Then I will click on the solve button such that you can see the results. Yeah, the result is completed. I will close this. And here you can see the results. See, you can see the 3 buckling modes. So in the beginning, I have entered the number of modes. So here you can see this is the number of modes, different modes, buckling mode 1, buckling mode 2, and buckling mode 3. And you can select the displacements. You can see the total displacement, the X displacements, the Y displacements, the Z displacements. Then I will animate this to see. So I will click on the result tools, animate. Then I will change the speed into fast and I will select two-way option and I will click the play button. So now you can see the animation. So this is buckling mode 1. I will click buckling mode 2. So here you can see this is the buckling mode 2 and I will select buckling mode 3. So that was buckling mode 3. Then if you want to see the X displacement of buckling mode 3 or 2 or 1, you can choose that buckling mode 2, buckling mode 1, Y displacement, then Z displacement, etc. So once your result is completed, you can click the finish result button. So if you want to make the report, you can click the result tool option. So here you can see this is the result tool option. In the result tool option, so here you can see there is an option that is called a report. So you can click this and you can make the report. So I will click this, I will click the report such that you can see this is the report format. So you can enter the general properties and different options. So you can change the report title, the author. If you want to enter the logo, you can enter the logo and you can add some summary. And here you can fix your image size and the report format. And after your complete corrections, you can preview it, then you can save it. So now I will check the preview. So I will click the preview button. So once I will click the preview button, you can see the preview of your report. Yeah, this is the this is the report. So here you can see this is the report. So here you can see the image width pixels, then the Autodesk, the study report, the analyzed file, the version, the creation date, and the author details, and the project properties, and the simulation model study details. So study type and modification date, then the general, what about the contact tolerance? So number of modes, number of buckling modes. So everything will be in the report. So then you can see the mesh details. So you can see the mesh, see the average element size, the solids, the scale mesh size per part is no. The element order is actually parabolic. Create curved mesh elements, no. Then maximum turn angle on, adjacent mesh size ratio, aspect ratio, maximum aspect ratio, then minimum element size. Then this is actually the mesh refinement. You can refine your mesh. Number of refinement steps is actually 0, and result convergence tolerance is 20, and buckling mode is 1. So I will not enter into the mesh refinement details. Then after that you can see the materials, which material you are using. So here you know which material I am using. So I am using the plastic material. You can see the plastic material. And when you are entering the material as plastic, you can see all the values, the density, the Young's modulus, Poisson's ratio, yield strength, ultimate tensile strength, thermal conductivity, thermal expansion coefficient, specific heat, every properties related to the plastic will be here. So then after that you can see the contacts. Okay, so I explained which contact I am using. For this analysis I am actually using the bonded contact. So here you can see the contacts, bonded contacts, all contacts are bonded. So you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So these are the bonded contacts. And the details of mesh, you can see the type is solids and how many nodes, 8059, and how many elements I am using, 3888. Then the details of the constraints. So this is fixed constraint. So you can see the type UX no, only UI only, UZ no, fixed constraint. Then next is fixed 2, then only the UX and UI, then fixed 3, UY and UZ, and the fourth one, that is UX, UI and UZ. Then the details of the load. So the type of load, force is force, the magnitude is 200 pound force, the X value, the Y value, the Z value. Here force per entity is actually no. Then after that you can see the results. The result summary is the total displacement, the X displacement minimum maximum, Y displacement minimum maximum. So that was the details of the report preparation. So you can prepare the report in this way. And once your preview is okay, you can click the save button to save your report in your particular folder. So with this, I will stop today's session. So we will meet you tomorrow. So you have to do this activity in Fusion 360 and you have to submit this as your third assignment. Thank you.